I groan when my alarm sounds, waking me up from the most erotic dream I've ever had. Dark blue eyes and gorgeous blonde hair loomed over me all night. I was wrapped up in muscular arms, and my thighs tingle from the imagined stubble scraping across them. I frown when reality comes crashing back down on me, and I realize I just spent all night dreaming about Charlie Callahan, my new stepbrother. What the hell is wrong with me? Of course, Charlie being my stepbrother isn't the only reason I shouldn't be dreaming of him. He's also a cocky bastard. I can still see the way he sauntered over to me yesterday, with that self-satisfied smirk on his face, like he thinks he's God's gift to women. Although my eyes are blue, they're a really light blue. Charlie's eyes are a deep blue, like the darkest depths of the ocean, and just as turbulent. It looks like it would be easy to drown in them. I can still feel the way his breath skated over my ear. It caused tingles to rush up my spine. His voice was dark and sensual as it dropped with innuendo. I'm only 21, which is still considered young, but it's kind of old to still be a virgin. Virgin or not, I still got the meaning behind Charlie's words. I don't know exactly how old the man is, but I would place him in his early 30s. He's definitely older than me, and old enough to have been around the block. And I mean, come on. A guy that hot can't be celibate for very long. He probably has women throwing themselves at him when he walks down the street. He's definitely not the type of man I would want to get involved with, even if he wasn't my stepbrother. Never mind the fact that my stomach dropped when my mom spilled the beans about who he really was. No. I'm thankful that he is my stepbrother, actually, because that will keep me from doing something really stupid like falling for him. Because even though he's a cocky bastard, that seems to be my kryptonite. I have a weakness for alpha holes, apparently. Every guy I've ever crushed on has been an alpha jerk. Of course, none of them have ever made my heart race the way Charlie did yesterday. I groan and shake my head as I force myself to get up out of bed and I start getting ready. I'm irritated with myself for letting Charlie take up so many of my thoughts this morning, when I should be focused on the interview I have today. I bragged off to Charlie yesterday that I worked for one of the most influential companies in the city. But that's not entirely true. Not yet, anyway. But I like to think positive. While in my mind, I already have this job, I just technically have to go in and interview for it today. But I already know I'm going to nail it. I know I'm qualified, and if I go in with the confidence that I'm known for, I'll get it. I know I will. I'm a go-getter and always have been. Call me a perfectionist and a bit of an overachiever. I was a straight A student and the one who would argue with the teacher to prove her premise and get her grade changed if I thought I could prove my point. Mom always jokes that I should have become a lawyer with my smart mouth and way of talking my way out of anything. But I decided to go into finance instead. I realize that it's going to be a grueling climb to the top, but I'm not above working my way up. In fact, I like the challenge. That's why I'm interviewing to be a secretary at C Industries. I'll be working right with the CEO, and give me a few years and I'll take his job and become CEO myself. I smirked to myself at the thought. I'm ambitious if nothing else, and nothing is going to get in my way, especially not thoughts of my overbearing new stepbrother. Best to just forget all about him and focus on my future. I grab my purse firmly and remind myself that I don't care what Charlie Callahan does or where he works. That's none of my business. My new life begins at C Industries today, and hopefully, I won't have to see my annoying stepbrother very often.